What is going on, YouTube? This is your captain speaking, Captain Calhoun. You're on the lifeboat. Good morning. And what a morning it is. Definitely something to write home about. I can't wait to tell you. I live for now. Good morning. The Better Bacon Bureau in the house. Making sure that bacon's crispy, but not too sog, not too burnt. Izzy E, what's going on? Always a pleasure. Linda Burton, Body Illusion, Millie the Dandelion. Morning, you beautiful people in the office. So I will be lurking. Sending all the love as always. Thanks, Millie. I hope you have a beautiful day at work. Cats, bats, and flowers. Hello there. I love your name. Cheryl Niles. What's going on? Russ in the house. Hope you're doing good, big dog. It's been a while. Been missing you, bro. Been missing you. Jamie Palmer, Tina Marie, Mac817. We're gonna get that number sequence proper today. What is going on, y'all? Good luck with your therapist, Rolling Stone. I hope that Matt turns out to be a rock star. And Kathy Ann, of course. Charlie Mullins. Got the OGs in the house. What's going on, y'all? This morning was a morning like no other in this house, I have to say. And that's a good thing. It is a good thing. Big bad Spanx. I'm gonna blow the boat down. I'm gonna huff and puff. Just kidding. I would never do that. Danielle McCoy, what's going on? Aaron F. Finally catching the boat. Let's go. Good to see you, Layla. Hello there. Hello. It's an interesting morning. New things. I'm experiencing new things. Dirty Mouse. Hello. Hello. Make sure I don't miss anybody. We'll get right into it. First coffee. What's going on, Susie? Me as well. Boat mode. I feel so warm. I have not only do I have more than one coffee cup with a handle, but I have like 3 that say the boat on it, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty stoked on that, I have to say. Good morning, Roberta. How are you? I had another cup of your tea last night, and it was fantastic. The perfect nightcap, if I do say so myself. Far superior to the days when I would nightcap with alcohol of some sort. Far superior, and it was delicious. So, Brazy girl, what's going on? The legend continues, eh, Izzy? Taking 5 days off. Let's go. You deserve it. You deserve it, Russ. You work your ass off. And I appreciate you. I think that's way cool, dude. So check this out. So this morning I woke up at 4:30. No alarm. My alarm goes off at 5:30 and 5:45. I don't know why those are the 2 times that I picked, but it seems to work well. Usually what'll happen is it'll go off. I'll hit that snooze and I'll get up somewhere around 6:15, right? So that gives me about 45 minutes. In my routine, I have it written down differently. This morning, my body woke up at 4:30, and I looked at the clock, and I was like, man, I feel good. It's kind of early. What is that? 2.5 hours until the boat. I don't know if I want to get up right now. And I like kind of rolled over onto my back, and the sun was kind of starting to come in the window, and it just was a different kind of morning. It was a different feeling. I got up at about 4:45, and I've had coffee. I've been communicating with my good friends that I'm reconnecting with. I've done my journaling. I've done the routine to the T, and I don't think I've ever felt this good in the morning. At least not in recent memory. This is not a towel. This is a blanket that I don't know if my grandmother made this or bought this, but another thing, since I stopped vaping, I've been feeling really clammy. Like my feet and my hands will get really sweaty. But like the AC's on, my body doesn't feel like, I don't know, it's weird. So the blanket's helping me out. I'm going to shed it here soon because my body will start to sweat. But did my socks fly across the room? They did. They did. It is kind of close enough, right? The fact that my grandma made it makes it special. Or gave it to me or whatever. Wherever it came from grandma. Hey, TKD, what's going on? I hope you have a great day too. Thanks for popping in. But yeah, so new and exciting things are happening. And I feel really good today. So my friend and I have been talking nonstop, catching up. It's been a great reconnection. Shout out to my friend in Louisiana. But we've been talking a lot about a mutual friend of ours who was one of my best friends in the whole world for a long time. And I've talked about her a lot. But she's in a bad way right now. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is what it is. And, I didn't say goodbye. I didn't see her for the last time, like when I left Salt Lake. And that decision was made after long, hard consideration because she's very important to me. She means a lot to me, but what's going on in her life really hurts. And I felt like I needed to save myself. And, I would like to live with no regrets, but I don't know if that's enabling me to do so, that decision there. I'm not proud of that decision. I am proud of where I'm at and what I'm doing, right? But I don't know if that was entirely necessary. Without getting hung up on things that I can't change, aka the past, right? The way I'm going to move forward is I'm going to reconnect with this lady. I'm going to do everything in my power that I possibly can to save her. It's not within my power to save her, but I'm gonna do what I can. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like she has to save herself, but I'm not going to like distance myself. I'm gonna show up and and I'm gonna do everything that I can. And if the extent of that is talking to her when her boyfriend's not around, I mean that's huge, right? I know she doesn't want to live that life. Nobody wants to live that life. So I'm pretty excited about that prospect. I tell you what, I am pretty excited about that prospect. Positive K Duff, what's going on? But yeah, it's been like kind of an emotional roller coaster on that note. I love this girl to death. We expected to know each other for our whole lives, and I don't know. I want her to make it, obviously, right? I want her to friggin' make it, and I just have this crushing terrible feeling in my gut. So I feel like I've waited long enough. It's time to. I reached out last night. I did not get a response from her, but I did get a response from her boyfriend. So I'm hoping to get on the horn with him today and see what the heck's going on. What the heck's going on? Also, if for some reason I bump into them in person on this trip, I definitely would like to be prepared. Like if I want to know the lay of the land before I just walk into it. You know what I mean? Especially with the nature of the beast that they're dealing with. That's right, Layla Bradley. Layla says, being there for someone in need feels good and leads to no regrets. And that's how I have to live my life. Otherwise, I will get stuck in that tornado of ants and looking back and like, what if? It's useless. The what ifs are not, it's already too late. You know what I mean? Coulda, shoulda, woulda, ain't happening. It's already too late, right? Thank you for saying that, Noah. I've realized that I have to accept who I am and how I feel. And it's a little different than other people. It's not regular for, I don't know, the decisions that I make and the feelings that I have are not like a regular thing, or at least it's not regularly outwardly shown by most people, I feel like. So definitely was something I had to come to terms with, accept who I am and just embrace what's in my heart. I'm very grateful, so grateful that that's the place that I've come to, because I've never felt more free. I tell you what. Yes, sir, Russ. I promise. All right. And vice versa, dude. Likewise, right back at you. We still got to get some night yard going. Maybe it's a good thing we took a break, right? We're all kind of adjusting, but I still think it's an exciting segment that we used to do. And if you're still into it, we should get on the horn and chat about it, man. I would like to maybe while you've got some days off, we can just do one. I don't know, just an idea, just a thought. It doesn't have to be a consistent thing, right? But even if we were to do a one-off, I think it would be killer, man. It would be a lot of fun, right? Let me know what you think. No sorries, Patty. You're all good. Everything's perfect right here in this moment. All the good, all the bad. It's all exactly how it's meant to be. Kathy Ann loved Night Yard. I feel like there's a bunch of folks out there that dug it a lot, and I don't know how long it's been. It's been at least a month, right? Since we did a night yard, probably more. And Russ, I recognize it's probably on me for not being communicative, but I'm a whole new beast now, okay? I'm gonna make like the Miramax lion and just give you a call, you know? No, I have not cut my hair. It's back here. Um, Usually I'll put it up the day I'm gonna wash it because I get sick of how it feels and how it looks. Like it's not that bad, but I'm kind of particular about it. It's not perfect, so it bothers me. So I put it up and put the hat on. It's also like kind of muggy in here. I wish the AC worked better. Please hold 1 sec. Yeah, it's crazy. The In the morning, because I'll turn it off when I go to bed because it just gets so cold and like it's way more effective in my bedroom than it is everywhere else. I don't know why. Um, but it's 70 degrees in here right now, and it'll get down to like 63, 64, 65. That's about where I want it. And by the time I wake up at 70 again, and it'll take half the day. It'll take like 4 to 5 hours to get back down there by leaving it on constant, which is, I mean, the insulation in here is so poor. I was inspecting my sliding glass door yesterday, and there's a they did a poor job on the caulking. I'm gonna probably go to the hardware store sometime before I go on this trip and buy a tube of caulk and reseal the bottom of the door because there's a hole in the sealant. And it's funny. I don't know if it was just like a staged funny coincidence from the universe or like if there's actually bugs coming in, but there was a dead cricket or roach. I still can't tell if they're roaches or crickets because they freak me out and I'm not doing any investigation, but was like just laying in front of this hole in the caulk. No, the brick wall, both brick walls lead to other residences. I wonder what's on this neighbor's other wall. Like, because on the other side of him, there's no one. Like, it's like the staircase and it's like outside, right? So I wonder if his exterior wall is brick or not. That is a curious question that I have. But I have brick on both sides. Those walls are both brick, and then front is regular, back is regular and sliding glass. The sliding glass, I think, is the issue. Also, the window in the bathroom is a big issue. I imagine all the windows are an issue because if those two are, then these two, why would I expect it to be different? And I think that's the main thing is the windows are single pane and the sealant job isn't complete, I should say. And I'm not judging anybody, right? I am a master caulker. I have worked a tubo caulk for many many years. It's not rocket science, but I certainly have put in thousands of hours of caulking, so I can recognize a incomplete job when I see one. And it might have just been over time it degraded. Who knows? I'm not judging anyone, but I can fix it easily. I can fix it. I shouldn't say that. It's not going to fix it. It's going to make it a little better, just a little better. Sweet tea, that is a good idea. I get nervous, like if I should, honestly, you're right. I should take Sweet tea says, what if you just put the temperature up a few degrees instead of turning it completely off? What I honestly should do is do an experiment. Will it turn off on its own when it gets to the temperature I have it set to? Because it should. But I've never heard it do that. I always turn it off manually because I get worried about the money I'm spending. It's just on. It's just on. It's just on. It'll start to get cold and it'll be on. So maybe I just have it set too low. And maybe if I set it to like 66 or something, it'll turn itself off. Maybe there's a sweet spot I'm missing. I appreciate that suggestion. Sometimes I need to be told. There's no two ways about it. No ifs, ands, or buts. Sometimes I just need to be told. Long legs and more narrow bodies than those other bad bugs. Well, I feel like they're crickets. They look like what you would feed to the snake. I have those blinds like you see behind me. They're just like the white rectangles that they all turn together. And those are on every window, except the bathroom window doesn't have anything. So I think drapes are pretty cool. I'm a big fan of drapes. If I got the proper material and the proper size, I think that we could transform this place. I'm pretty stoked about how it's coming together. There's still more to be done. I tell you what, I had the best journaling in my head last night when my head hit the pillow. Too bad I can't print faux real. I'm telling you, one day there's going to be a from my brain to the page transcribing device, and I'll just think the words and they'll appear. One day in the future. Any advice for people who want to help friends without burning out or overextending themselves? I'm people. I'm asking for me. Lol. I swear I thought you were going to say asking for a friend. Thank you, Izzy. Yes, I do. Because this is literally what I'm getting into right now. I didn't feel like I was ready to do so. Hence why I didn't say goodbye to this good friend. Hence why I was not only burning bridges, but the bridges I didn't burn, I like just kind of put on hold, right? I haven't really been hanging out with my friends. I haven't really been talking to them. I've taken time for me, right? But now I feel like a caterpillar that was in a cocoon and now I'm coming out as a butterfly. I feel safe. I feel ready. I feel indomitable. I don't know. And I'm not saying that's how you're going to feel, but if you listen to your heart, you can kind of tell where you're at, right? And at the time when I left Salt Lake, I was not ready to do this. I was not ready to help friends. I would have burnt out. I would have crashed and burned. I wouldn't have made it here, or I would have made it here and I would have screwed it up royally, right? But now that I'm in this position, I've kind of achieved some goals I set out to achieve. I feel a lot better about it. You definitely need to put yourself first. And you always need to remember you can't save these people. We can only put ourselves in positions. It's hard to hit this point without getting spiritual or religious in some way. So I guess I'll just leave that up for you to do in your own minds and hearts. But we don't have the power on our own to save people. But like Tommy Bird was saying the other day, when we follow spirit, when we follow our gut, when we do those things, the answers kind of appear. Things kind of work themselves out sometimes. So the only thing you can really do is put yourself in the position to help, right? Without putting yourself on a limb and at risk, right? So there's this balancing act that you're going to end up playing inevitably when you do stuff like this. But when you come to a place where you're very grounded and centered, you stand firm on your own 2 feet, you know what ground you're standing, it becomes a lot easier to put yourself in this position and stay safe, right? I would suggest make sure that the ground you're standing on is solid. And after that, just make sure you don't forget that, you actually don't have the power to save these people, but it is kind of our obligation, our job to try and do so anyways, without putting ourselves out there. I hope that was helpful. I know that was kind of a oxymoron kind of answer, but I mean, this thing we're talking about and we're doing is not simple. It's very complicated. I actually called my dad for advice about my friend back in Salt Lake this morning, and he gave me some sound advice. What he had said was, what did he say? He said, call her and get her on the phone without her boyfriend around, because he's going to be listening. And then tell her, I know you don't want to be living this life, basically. He said some other things too, but I thought that was pretty neat. I feel like I can figure out the rest. That is a great way to start the conversation and set the stage, because I know she doesn't want to live that life. And I know she's partly living that life because she is traumatized, and, unfortunately probably getting taken advantage of by homeboy. But I don't really know. I don't know what's going on. I was really good friends with both of them. So I don't, it's hard. It's hard. What do you think about that, Izzy? Was that all right? Was that helpful? How is the Admiral? Did they survive the road trip, if I may ask that? When I called him today, there was a lot of background noise. I was like, what's that noise? He was like, oh, I'm driving the moving truck right now, and the cat's in my lap. And I chuckled. I said, all right. For some reason, I didn't realize they were going to be driving. I guess that makes sense. Fancy Nancy says, I was helping a friend and became so overwhelmed that I actually had a panic attack. I have to learn to say no. And this is a great example of what exactly what we're talking about. It's super easy to like get in a little too deep. We're all susceptible to stuff like this, especially where we come from and then doing what we're doing, right? I also feel like people like us are uniquely equipped to help others, right? We have things that others don't. We have tools that others don't, experience that others don't to help with this, right? But at the end of the day, like, we can only encourage, we can only like have conversations. We can't physically force anyone to like clean their act up. We can't physically save anybody. They have to do that themselves. We can talk them into it, kind of, right? But like at the end of the day, it's not my decision. I decide whether or not I'm going to show up, right? They get to decide if they're going to live. No is a complete sentence, says Jamie Palmer. Recovering people pleaser here. I can relate with this so hard. It's a fine line of trying balance and keeping yourself sane and helping others at the same time. Facts. Well said. Name 3 people that are pleased with your people pleasing. I love that sentence. This is fantastic, guys. This is what it's all about. So since the big red button is shutting down the whole simulcast thing, what I'm going to do is just tell you who our ripples are and tell you where to find them, and tell you that they're awesome. And I'm going to leave it at that. That's my due diligence right there, right? So please go support our ripples. Carol at Needing a Meeting, Blessed to Crochet, Conversations with Christy, all have channels that I find very fun and interesting. We do all kinds of collaborations now and again, and I think the landscape will change here moving forward, but don't forget about them, obviously, right? Because they're amazing. Go show them some love. Dennis from Boston, what is going on? Love it. Hello, hello. There's got to be a different way to handle the ripple thing. I'm thinking about it. Ideally, I would like to be able to post this, like what we're doing here. I would like to be able to stream directly to our website. I don't know anything about hosting video, but there's got to be a way that we can. I don't know if I should say this out loud, but there's got to be a way we can do this independent of the big red button. You know what I mean? Like in my head, we were creating a network, right? Like a TV station, right? But I guess that makes the big red button mad because they're the network, right? They're the TV station. So I think the actual solution is to just do it myself, right? It's probably a monumental task. I probably have no idea what I'm getting into. But if the big red button can host a server and do yada, 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 I can too. And I'm not trying to say that I'm going to have another YouTube, but we should be able to like just stream to our website. And then we can do the ripples however we friggin' want. We can have a TV network of recovery-based conversations. So maybe that's the new dream. I don't know. And again, this might be infinitely more complicated than I imagine it to be. And I imagine it's far beyond my understanding. So we will see. I'll keep you updated on what I find. I intend to talk to all my nerdy techie buds. Not that I don't have enough nerdy techie stuff I haven't done and need to do already on my plate. But the ideas keep coming, and you got to write them down, or otherwise they're gone forever. I probably can stream to Twitch at the same time. I'm not as familiar with Twitch. That would just be like running our movie on two TV stations at once. You know what I mean? Which is cool. That's not a bad idea. Redirect thing. I'm not entirely sure what the redirect thing is, Blessed Crochet. Tennessee, such a lonely word. Mostly what I need from you. My pleasure, Izzy. I hope it was helpful. Roxy Alameda, I love your name. Welcome in. Tommy is driving a moving truck to Tennessee right now with a cat in his lap. He will most likely be back this evening at 7:30 p.m., but he has been working really hard, and I have been encouraging him to take days off. So he has been letting me know after my 5 p.m. Pacific show and before his 7:30 p.m. Pacific show generally how he's feeling. Last night he took the night off because he was beat. And now they're driving the truck. So hopefully he has some energy this evening. I imagine it's not like him to take 2 days off in a row. That's pretty much unheard of. So I would be willing to bet he does a show this evening. Much love right back at you, Patty. Thank you so much. My friend is texting me. I love her. She's the best. She's pretty neat. Glad we reconnected. I wonder if she's watching me right now. I don't know if I feel like I remember telling you guys once that I have like nervousness and anxiety a little bit about sharing what I've been doing with my friends, like with my people. And part of that is like based on like, I don't know, like I know that I can't save them, right? I know that I can't, like I have friends that probably could very much use the lifeboat, and I haven't reached out because it scares me. I'm scared. I have fear. I think that is in the past. I think that that's behind me. I think this morning marks a milestone, a turning point, a fork in the road where I choose to actively invest in the livelihood of my friends and my loved ones, right? And I don't know if those are the exact right words or the right way to say that, but I think that you guys get the emotion, you get the feeling, you get the idea of what I'm trying to say. I really look forward to doing so. It's going to be an interesting ride. Literally just going to come out and show my friends what I've been up to. But that's a good thing. This isn't the kind of thing that's meant to be hidden. It's meant to be shared. It's meant to be spread. We're connecting, right? Your husband watched last night. Whoop, whoop. What do you say? What do you think? That's an interesting idea, Blessed Crochet. I will check that out. Ooh, I should get that journal up today. That's literally so easy. All I need to do is get into my Google Drive, upload files, share it with my guy. Literally that easy. I just haven't done it. Heard me mention Delta 8 and then watched that show? Absolutely, my pleasure. I rewatched that show and believe it or not, was disappointed in my delivery. I feel like I feel like in my mind it went so much better. But I mean, that's just we'll always be our own biggest critics. It's really not anything to be concerned with. But I have to say, I feel like there was more I could have, should have said. the whole acid bath thing is real important. That was like the biggest takeaway, was that they're creating this stuff by giving weed an acid bath, right? And then the acid is still in the material when they sell it, and it's not regulated. There's no one to stop them from doing so. That was the biggest takeaway, and I don't think I hit that point hard enough for some reason, but maybe I'm wrong. When it's boat time, hubby leaves me alone. I'm so focused. He's listening as well. He says, I lose you for an hour. Aw. Aw. That's cool that he like lets you do that. You know what I mean? I don't have experience with functional relationships, so I don't necessarily have any idea what it takes to succeed. But that seems sweet to me. You know, that just seems sweet and understanding to me. Yeah, we are our own biggest critics, that's for sure. I've been thinking a lot about grounding and anchoring recently. Oh, do I have water? I do. All right. All righty. Wow, I've been doing a lot of talking in a short amount of time today. Is Substack another site or forum or medium to put media up in? Yeah, I hope he takes a few days off. We'll see. I'm also hoping that I can see him in person before I leave, but we'll see. It's going to be close. It's going to line up close. Terry Ray, welcome in. Oh, that's sweet, Brazy. It's my absolute pleasure. It's my absolute pleasure. Heck yeah, Noah. Thanks for saying that. Noah says you opened my eyes. Was going to try Kratom, not anymore. I'm glad you did the video. Very informative. And, since we touched on it just now, I also just want to reiterate, it's not that it's terrible. It's not that it's like super dangerous. It's that it's unregulated, It's that it potentially is dangerous. We just don't know, right? It does help a lot of people. But again, like I would like to know what's in what I'm consuming. I'd like to know. Space Diesel, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Yeah, I would just like to know what's in the stuff I'm consuming. I feel like it would be the most transparent and honest thing for these companies to do, to just sell the leaves of the plant, right? But that's not what they're doing. They're selling you compounds, they're selling you powders, they're selling you distillates. So it just makes me nervous. I think if you didn't watch the Kratom video at all, I think that's the biggest takeaway, is that it's unregulated. It's not that it's dangerous, it's that it's potentially dangerous. It's that we just don't know. And it's honestly dishonest the way that they're marketing it. They say it's natural, it's obviously not. You know what I mean? Et cetera, et cetera. If they're lying about that, what else are they lying about? If that's how they're acting, what do you think that their ultimate agenda is? What do you think is their most important point? Their most important point is probably their bottom line, how much money they're making. Guaranteed. So, and I'm not saying all the companies are that way either, right? There's obviously always an exception to the rule, but yeah, Reddit is the wild, wild west. I tell you what, Noah, Reddit is the wild, wild west, which is good and bad, right? Just take it as it is. Interesting. Don Meredith explains briefly how Substack works. That's a super duper interesting app, the way that works. I don't think that another platform, I don't think that another great overlord in the internet sky is the answer. I think becoming that myself is the answer. And that might be very far away, right, from this moment. But ultimately, we're going to have the Lifeboat TV network kind of thing, right? Eventually, we're going to have our own servers, our own this, that, and the other. And again, I have no idea what that entails, but I see it. I see it in my mind's eye. We don't need all of this stuff. It's wonderful, and I'm grateful that we are able to do this on YouTube. I'm grateful and just so stoked, right, that we have this opportunity. But I think the ultimate form, when we become the Power Ranger Megazord Lifeboat, I think that we are our own network, right? We have our own platform and our own servers. Right now, that's not the case. I don't know what it takes to get there, but I think that's the ultimate vision, the ultimate Megazord Lifeboat form. Can you guys tell I liked the Power Rangers? I've only had a THC infused beverage once, and I have to say, at the time, I was impressed. Obviously, I don't partake anymore, right? But yeah, when I was into it, it was super. It was cool. It was nice. Very easy to overdo. The one I had was like concentrated or something, and it had like kind of like, oh, I don't have it with me, kind of like on your shaker bottle for your supplements, it has like milliliters or whatever on the side. This one had like a graph for doses, and there was like 10 doses in the whole thing, and I think I drank half of it instead of what I was supposed to. Quite the intense reaction, I have to say. What's going on, Tommy Bird? No need to respond. I'm just shouting you out. I know you're driving. Be safe. Be safe. Really, Izzy? That's so interesting. Is it not all over? Well, I guess where you live is a little different too. It's a little more rural. I wonder if they sell it in town. When you go to town in like a vape shop or something, I wonder if they sell it. Never been to Canada. I've never been to Quebec. Always wanted to. THC gummies are illegal in QC, but you can get THC cauliflower chips. What? Not gonna lie, I love me some cauliflower. I kind of miss working in fancy restaurants. I used to cook some pretty sweet stuff. I felt so good yesterday. I actually got to cooking. I busted out my knife and my cutting board and exhibited my skills. It felt really good. It's been a long, long time since I've assumed the stance. Yeah, I want to go to Quebec real bad. I mean, not only could I meet some of my internet friends, but I've always wanted to go to Canada and Quebec. So is Quebec just the east side of Canada, or is it what? Will you educate me, please? I don't know what I'm talking about in regards to Canada and Quebec. What's the difference? What's the deal? They're just different places, right? Just right next to each other. Is Quebec in Canada? I guess I could just Google it, but I have my friends here. I'm going to ask them. Substack is a place to create a community for paid and non-paid subscribers, has video creation tools, journaling, newsletters, and it's free to set up without worrying about paying for hosting and dev. Interesting. And that's the biggest thing, is paying for hosting and dev. Do you guys know how Amazon got as big as they are? Because, they didn't start out that big, right? What they did was they took out loans. They basically were not profitable for like many years. And they just kept taking out loans, kept taking out loans, kept taking out loans. And eventually they became profitable, right? They turned it around. But they had to go into like a serious amount of debt. They went into debt valley in order to become successful. And I don't know if that's like the kind of thing we'll have to do to become Lifeboat Network, right? Because hosting and the devs, right? All the internet, the website, the server side of it is going to cost us money at the end of the day, no matter, like, there's a bunch of different ways to go about it from what I understand. But at the end of the day, it's going to cost money, a lot of it, I think. But again, I'm going to do some research. I'm going to look into it. It's definitely a work in progress. We're not going to arrive at this place today or tomorrow, but we are going to start shooting for it immediately. I am very familiar, Jane Aldrich, with Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia. Quite the intriguing show and the intriguing fellow, right? I quite enjoy it. Some of his stuff's hard for me to watch, and I can't put my finger on it, but some of it's hard for me to watch. I used to hate that show. Was it Intervention? What was the one where... I don't know if it was Intervention or not. There was one where they would like dive into terrible, terrible addiction, and it was like a TV show on MTV or something. And it was just the most graphic, most heart-wrenching, like for someone like me, someone that has lived this their whole life, right? Vicariously through my parents and then on my own, right? On my own journey of crazy debauchery. Maybe it was called Loaded, or maybe it was Intervention. I don't know. It was the worst show of all time. I hated it though. Always safe, especially when I got one of the children with me. We just walked into the Crawl Mart. That is a funny way to describe that store. I used to go in there and just straight trash the place when I was younger, I swear. Yeah, it looks like Intervention is what I'm talking about. Y'all seem to be on the same page. It was a terrible one. It was a terrible one. So Noah's basically telling me that Substack enables me to be lazy with my web development, and I tell you what, that's exactly what I need. That's exactly what I need. Valerie 102, what's going on? And Rick Spicer, what's going on, Big Daddy? How you doing? Never seen a shop selling kratom. Haven't even heard the name. Doesn't mean it's not available, but not widely known, I think. I believe the species of plant is called Misgyna speciosa or something, and it's from Southeast Asia. I wonder if we get any plant matter at all in the country, or if by the time it hits North America, it's already in a powder or a distillate. I wonder if the leaves themselves even make it here. That's my question. At one time, Quebec fought to be its own country. Interesting. Quebec is a province in Canada next to Ontario. Interesting. Davies never heard of kratom. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second, Davey. What's going on? Good to see you. Welcome in. The frozen ice planet of Hoth. Where's that, Chow Yun Smut? Oh, yeah. You live south of the equator, huh? It's winter over there now. Is it not? Much love, Davey. I've missed you. Well, the reason I bring that up is because also, good morning, Chow Yun Smut. It's always a pleasure to see you. Oh, you're in northern Minnesota? Okay. Isn't it true south of the equator, it's the opposite season that it is north, right? So like in Australia, technically it's winter right now, right? Am I wrong, or is this just something I have dreamed up? This has got to be true, I feel like. FYI, Quebec is primarily French-speaking province, English all around in the big cities, but cross the bridge and it's all French. Interesting. We were talking about Letterkenny, weren't we? Seems just like Letterkenny to me. I was watching Letterkenny the other day and I was like, I don't know if I can get back into this. It's a lot of beer drinking going on, which I imagine has got to be difficult. Lizzie Noddle confirms. Well, thank you for that. I thought I was going crazy for a second, Lizzie. Yeah, the reason I bring that up, Chow Yun Smut, is because in ancient times, traditionally in Thailand and Malaysia, where this plant naturally grows, manual labor workers would chew it for like the coca-like effect it would have, and people would make teas out of it, more potent, right on the the higher dose end of the spectrum, to get that opiate like effect as well. So the reason I bring that up is because if if it traditionally was used, like the leaves themselves are good enough to make the tea and good enough to just chew on and get the effect, why are we busting it up? Why are we breaking it down into a form where I can't tell what you've done to it? You know what I mean? I think that's dishonest. Selling the powders in the concentrates at first glance seems sweet, right? Oh, that's so nice of them to process it for me. Well, why can't I just get it raw? Why do I need to have it processed? I'm sick of all the processed stuff. Why is my lunch meat, so processed? Why is everything in the store here so processed? Why is everything in this country so processed? I want it raw. I want it fresh. I want it not stepped on. The stuff at the grocery store is stepped on. It's not like we're not talking about drugs. It's crazy. It's crazy. Money is doing bad things to the planet. Greed. Greed is doing bad things to this planet. I'm so sorry to hear that, Dawn. That has got to be a drag. Dawn says she's allergic to everything because it's cheap AF. And honestly, I could do without all the convenience. Take my phone, take my computer, take all my luxuries. Like if I can just live a sovereign, free life, if I can just like have autonomy in my decisions and not have an overlord of some sort tell me what I can and can't do. Like, look, I understand. I don't know. This argument keeps coming up in debates and conversations these days. We're talking about free will, free speech, the government monitoring the people, the government manipulating the people, the government taking advantage, whatever, right? I think you can literally take it all away as far as I'm concerned and just give me freedom and sovereignty, and I'm okay with that. I don't need nothing. I'll hunt to eat, right? Like I'm okay with that. I'll live a hard life. All this crazy complication, all this like people trying to tell me what I can and can't do, all this, I have to buy my food from the grocery store, like the way it's all set up. And I'm like kind of pigeonholed into all kinds of stuff. I hate that. I hate that so much. I would give it all up to have free, raw sovereignty, free reign over my own life in every aspect. I would give everything away. That's how I feel about that. Do you now, Layla? That sounds friggin' amazing. Imagine if this was even possible in my country. It's crazy. There are still places out there that, that give a crap. I don't think the US is one of them, as far as the government's concerned, at least. Big Daddy Overlord, Uncle Sam. I think that's why I like that song Big Time in the Jungle so much. Uncle Sam called him up, sent him out to Vietnam. And there's like a lyric, fight for an idea that I know nothing about. It's a very satirical, ironic song. And it's very happy-go-lucky, but it describes the story of a young man growing up in Alabama, catching fish, drinking beer, doing normal stuff. And then he goes out to fight. Uncle Sam calls him up, sends him out to Vietnam. It's an interesting song. An idea that I know nothing about. Izzy and Davey, did you guys ever get together? Did you guys ever do your field trip? I remember we were talking about that like a month or two ago. Yeah, Davey, I don't think it would be easy for me either. Davey says I have a hard time killing my food. But like, I think in that, if I was in that position where I had to like hunt to survive, to provide for my family, I feel like I would cross that boundary just fine, And honestly, I probably would try to learn about like the way that the natives did it. Like they like give thanks and intention and like use every part of the animal. I feel like if I was in that position, that makes me feel proper. That makes me feel good about it, right? Obviously, that's a lot easier said than done. A lot goes into using every part of an animal. A lot goes into hunting. A lot goes into hunting. A lot goes into every aspect of living that free sovereign life that I was just talking about. I think would be hard in every way. It would be the hardest thing I ever did, but I also think it would be the most rewarding thing of all time. But as it is, we're going to make the Lifeboat TV network instead. Maybe one day the system will collapse in on itself and I can stand amongst broken the broken bodies of the system and start anew. But until then, we're gonna do the Lifeboat TV network. With the price of gas, forget about it. Get out. Is Scooby Lee in here? Where's Scoob at? Scoob, I'm on episode 1007 of One Piece. I've almost watched every single One Piece episode that they've made. I'm so close. I'm so proud of me. And I didn't realize it, which is crazy. How could I miss this? Every friggin' slide, One Piece is hand drawn. Dude, One Piece is hand drawn. I was always attracted to the art and the way it was put together. It didn't occur to me that it was friggin' hand drawn. Everything. 1,000, almost 1,100 episodes, 1,107 episodes. I forget exactly how many. Oh, it's right here. Let's see. 1073, 1,073 episodes. They're hand drawn. Every single one of them, dude. Blows me away. Blows me away. What a work of love. What a work of the heart. You know what I mean? It's so cool. I'm a I'm a fanboy for sure. Do you guys know that fan stands for fanatic? Thought that was an interesting piece of knowledge. Then you have to process the bones, the hide. It's a whole month worth of work for one catch. Hence why you have a big family, right? And get some help with that. I think that if I was living that sort of life, I would procreate like a rabbit. Well, I guess you kind of have to be intelligent about that too, right? There's probably a huge element of surrender and faith. You know what I mean? Living that kind of life, nothing's really for certain. Everything is kind of either works out or don't. And you just kind of have to keep moving forward and trust that it will. Not very different than the way I'm living my life now, except there's lots of fail safes in place. You Stan Izzy? Lol. Lol. The banjo? There's something about the banjo. There's just something about the banjo. What's FMA, Scooby? I feel like I'm just I'm doing a brain fart here. Full Metal Alchemist, of course. That's my freebie, Scoob. That's my freebie, okay? What are we talking about, Blessed? Oh, the Ripple thing? Yeah, I'm sorry. Honestly, we can still simulcast it and I just won't monetize. You know what I mean? I don't know how you feel about that. You can celebrate your birthday on the lifeboat if you so choose. I'm not going to take that away from you. You know what I mean? So that's up to you. You let me know what you want to do. I'm willing to bend and move and make it work however we can. All right. Yeah. Community building. This is like what we're missing in today's world. It looks like a lot of work, but you do a little bit every day and you invite the neighbors or your friends, make an event out of it for the big stretches. Like this is literally, this makes us better. What you just said makes us better. We should do more stuff like this. Building community is possible without a big blood family. Facts. Jamie, when growing up, was not a big fan of bluegrass or banjo or country at all, and it grew on me as I got older, for sure. Grew on me a lot. Got the pocket watch, sick. Hunter x Hunter. I got through. Are they gonna? Did the creator of this die? Is that why it stopped? I didn't read the manga. I know the manga goes farther than the anime, but I watched all the episodes of the anime, and it was amazing. I loved Hunter x Hunter for sure. Delicious. Delicious, delicious. Yeah, Tina Marie, that's right. That's what we're doing right now, eh? That's what we're doing right now. We should totally plan for a lifeboat barbecue cookout. Oh, that sounds so nice, doesn't it? Oh my gosh, I might have to make some eggs now. It's about egg making time. Yeah, I think I like stuff like Don Williams. Some broken hearts never mend. That's the kind of stuff that I'm into as far as country goes. Coffee black, cigarette, start this day like all the rest. First thing every morning that I do, start missing you. And he's got like the slide guitar right then. It's so good. It's a great song. Some broken hearts never mend. Some memories never end. I don't know how good my singing voice is today, but some tears will never cry. My love for you will never die. Yeah, Jamie Palmer, I agree. Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, some of the greats of all time. Jen, good morning, lovely people. How you doing? I'm getting lots of messages. Lots and lots and lots of messages right now. Chow Yun Smut, good luck with all that. That is a labor of love, I'm sure. Lol, Izzy, everyone just shows up. Like, you ready? Thanks for saying so, Davey. I was feeling it was like not mighty. It was feeling a little greasy to me today, so I put it up. I don't like it. I don't like how it feels on my face when it's not fresh, you know? I mean, it's not even really dirty. I washed it yesterday, but it's not perfect. I'm gonna have to get used to it. All right. Hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications. If you like what we do here, it certainly makes a difference. Shout out to all the new people that I met today. Shout out to the whole crew. You guys make this thing do what it does. You guys, it wouldn't be the same without you. Y'all are the, real heroes here. Y'all are the real heroes. I'm just holding space, you know. I'm just holding space for the greater works that we do, and I'm blessed. I'm grateful. We're blessed. Yeah. Shout out to all my friends out there, all you guys, and let's put some ones up for Reese and the Admiral. They are traveling today. I don't know how long they're going to be traveling. I don't know what the outlook is. I know that when they get there, they're going to, start unpacking and moving in. And my dad has committed to help with that as well. So hopefully it goes smoothly, safely. And shout out to all my ripples as well. All right, guys. Getting out of here.